I made over 300 billion coins from just outsmarting the system. If you wanna know how I did it, just watch till the end. It all started when I got an idea to become the richest Skyblock player. But that's not something you just do overnight. Or is it? But there was a slight problem. You see, to become the richest Skyblock player, I would have to make over 100 billion coins. And if you have played Skyblock before, you know that that's a lot of money. But you think that's gonna stop me? Nah dude, I'm gonna invent Newton's fourth law of motion if I have to get this done. Pretty much what I'm trying to say is I'm gonna do this if it's the last thing I do. I started looking into how the net worth calculation actually works, and I came across a loophole, a way which would allow me to duplicate money without actually duplicating it. If it doesn't make sense now, don't worry, it will all make sense by the end of this video. The first thing I needed to do was to find an item that's kinda common but people normally don't care about because it's useless, and the best item for the job was the Hilt of True Eyes. You see, it's not that difficult to get and people don't care about it because it's used to make the Yeti sword, and ain't nobody caring about the Yeti sword. And then I spent the next few weeks just collecting and buying as many Hilt of True Eyes as I could, and I ended up with backpacks full of these things. Like, you could call me Iceman because at this rate I'm gonna freeze to death. Before somebody thinks that I have some weird addiction for ice, that's why I'm collecting this, I should probably explain the plan. You see, the Discord bot takes into consideration auction prices while valuing people's items to calculate net worth. For example, with the ice, it considers the lowest bin of the auction house price. So technically, if I bought out all the ice on the auction house and then put up one ice for 2 billion coins, and that's the lowest bin, then the Discord bot would value the ice at 2 billion, and since I have so much, my net worth would just skyrocket. But the problem is, someone's just gonna auction ice for like the regular price after a few minutes, and then I can't keep buying it forever. That's when I remembered Derpy. Yeah, the bald dude with weird eyes and a big mouth. This guy was gonna be my savior. You see, when Derpy gets elected, he closes the auction house until as long as Derpy is elected. So during his 5 days of mayorship, the auction house would be completely inaccessible, which means if I do the plan right before Derpy gets elected, nobody can mess with it during Derpy because the auction house is closed. You can't put up ice for the regular price. And since mine is the lowest bin, my net worth would have already skyrocketed, and for 5 days, I would be the richest player. So all I had to do was wait a few months for Derpy and do it, but no story is good without a twist. And the twist in this one is that it was at the wrong time. You see, Derpy was getting elected like 15 minutes after my school ended that day, and I need to get back from school, go back home and get on my computer and buy all the ice. Like, that's a lot of work in 15 minutes, and I don't think it was gonna be possible. Plus, I had a test that day, so I can't just miss school. Like, so I was in a bit of a pickle. So what do you do when you need something done but you can't do it yourself? You get someone else to do it for you. Exactly. So I spoke to my friend, and thankfully he agreed to help me. So my friend Abood was gonna buy all the ice on the auction right before Derpy closed because I wasn't sure if I would be online. The day of the election came. After months of planning and investing millions into this project, it would all come down to one moment, if we get the timing right or not. I rushed home from school and I reached 2 minutes before Derpy got elected. I noticed that my friend Abood had just bought out all the ice on the auction house other than 2 of them. One of them was the ice I had auctioned for 2 billion coins, and that's the one we needed to leave up. And the other one was one for 4 million coins, and I instantly bought it. Then the auction house closed. I think we got it perfectly right on time. Mine was the lowest bin left. So the only ice on the auction house on bin was mine, and it was for 2 billion coins. So the bot should consider it as the lowest bin and just use it for the net worth calculation. But the bot wasn't updating for a few minutes, and I was starting to panic because I was worried if the bot was not gonna update since the auction house was closed by Derpy. But thankfully, after a while, it updated, and I was the richest Skyblock player. 343 billion coins, leaderboard number 1. That's just crazy. And a hilt of two eyes worth 308 billion. Okay, that is balanced. I'm also number 1 on the net worth leaderboard. I'm over 3 times the second place. That's just crazy. Even though this was only for 5 days, I was completely satisfied because I did my thing, I got an insanely good idea and it actually ended up working, so I was happy.